All right, an interesting filing here in the United States just a little while ago by the major U.S. antitrust agencies, an overhaul here of some of the merger review rules, the first big overhaul that we've seen in at least 4 decades. Sara Forden joining us right now from our D.C. Bureau to talk a little bit more about what this means. Sara, does this mean that deals can still get done, or they're just going to take longer to complete?
Yeah, absolutely. Deals will still get done. And just to be clear, most deals actually get through and get approved and go forward. But the antitrust agencies are very focused on making sure they scrape out the potentially illegal deals. And so part of the way they're going to do that is by making companies provide much more detailed information at the beginning. So what the deals are about, whether there are overlaps in business units, more detailed information about the narratives behind the need for the deals, and then technical information about board directors and other factors that are just going to take companies longer.
So this type of information was also collected, is already being collected, but is usually done in the later stages of the review process?
No, this is part of the process of filing to seek approval. But up to now, the forms that have been used have been very much more streamlined, 1 or 2 word answers. Now the agencies are going to be asking for a lot more detail and information that actually it's surprising that wasn't required before. So in a way, they're kind of tightening up the process here as well.
So how long does this add, I guess, to the process here for those companies that are looking to file?
So the FTC itself actually estimates it could add about 100 hours to the process of filing for approval. That process currently takes companies anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. But we also have an estimate by our own Bloomberg intelligence analyst, Jennifer Rhee, who's looked into this. And her estimate is that it's going to take companies potentially much longer, even as much as 2 to 3 months, as they look into their records and collect all the information and pull this together for the agencies.
One key bullet point in this that jumped out with me was, and I'm just going to quote it here, was to identify potential horizontal overlaps current or planned. That obviously dovetails very neatly here with the sort of antitrust mission that these regulators have here. What type of due diligence would companies have to do now that maybe they didn't do in the past?
So this is actually one of the most interesting pieces because it is actually the job of the agencies to identify what overlaps are potentially illegal. And so by doing this, they're throwing the burden back to the companies to say, what should we be watching for here? And is there anything that's potentially going to cause an overlap that would hurt competition?